Buongiorno and welcome. Welcome back. Okay, so I read the comments and the messages that I get from my viewers, and one of the things that was pointed out to me is that, man, you do a lot of Mexican style food or Tex-Mex style food. Well, in case you haven't noticed by my accent, we are deep in the heart of South Central Texas, and that's what we eat, and that's what the majority of my viewers like to eat. So, I hear you, I listen. So today we're going to change it up and do a quick $5, instead of a chili mac kind of dish, an Italian skillet pasta dish. All right. Now I'm browning off some hamburger meat. I cheated and already made the cook the pasta. Now I can tell you right now, the reason I do this stuff in ahead of time, again, like we've talked about, are we really going to sit and watch grass grow? That's the same thing as watching pasta boil. So, why waste your time or mine? And I don't know where you are. I hope you're not in the Northeast. For those of you that are my viewers in the Midwest, I feel for you, but I got to tell you, sunny and 70 degrees. It's been in the high 80s. Yesterday it was almost 90. So, welcome to February in Texas. Now, let's get to it. I'm browning off some ground beef. Just browning it off. I've already drained it. I started it too. So now, while that's going, we're going to do the veggies. Now, if you have a nice big board, it's always great, because this way, if you cut it on top of the meat, you can just slide it right into the meat. And today, we're going to add some onion. We're going to add some mushrooms, a little pepperoncini, and some, which is a pepper, and some zucchini. You could add spinach, you could add carrots, you could add peas, you could add any kind of, you could add cabbage if you wanted to. That's a little out there. Eggplant would be good in this. Anything you wanted to add, particularly to get your kids to eat it if they're not veggie eaters. So remember how you cut? Down and back toward you. Always down and back. I don't have a whole lot of room here. I got too much stuff on my board to show you, so we're going to scatter some of those. Alright, there we go. When you're adding veggies to stuff like this, you want to make sure that everything is uniformly cut, so it all cooks about the same. And this is called rough chopping. I'm just rough chopping the onion. You remember? Ooh, pop quiz. What's this called when we do it like this? Walking the knife. Move this back a little bit so I can just slide it right in there. See how easy that is? So that's the onions and zucchini. Smack up a little peppers. When you're cutting peppers, open them up and cut them from the inside. It's easier than trying to cut through the skin on the outside. I know. It's what I'm here for. I'm a font of useless information. That's what my roommate in college used to tell me. Again, this is a rustic dish, peasant food, if you will. So what you want is nothing precise. You're not doing precise measuring or chopping. You're just rough chopping everything, because you want the big chunkies in there. This is a clove of garlic. There we go. Remember when we talked about garlic the other day? The finer you chop it, the stronger it gets. Another good thing to do is if you buy your garlic at the store or anywhere, if you grow your own, buy it at the farmer's market, wherever, take the whole clove as it is, come home from the store. If you're grilling that day, put it on the grill, on the cooler side, not directly over the heat, but put it on the cooler side of the grill, and just leave it there. Or you can put it on a cookie sheet in the oven, Put it on a baking sheet in the oven, 325 for about an hour, or so. Just forget about it. And what'll happen is the paper. Don't worry if the paper looks all burned. That's okay. You don't eat that anyway. But inside it turns it into a garlic paste. And all you have to do is squeeze it, and it is so sweet and so mild. Oh, best way to eat garlic. When I showed that to my husband and I started living together years ago, and I showed him that, he went berserk. He thought that was awesome. And now, that's about the only way he does his garlic. It always has some on the grill. And again, if you don't like mushrooms, don't add mushrooms. Common sense cooking. But we don't like it. Well, then don't put it in there. Put what your family likes. Okay, let me see where we're at. There we go. Yeah, a few more mushrooms. We love mushrooms at our house, so. And they're so good for you because they're loaded with potassium. They're just one of the, people don't realize how incredibly healthy mushrooms are. Look, there's 2 pieces of salt, squashed together. After we get all this in, I've already seasoned it with garlic, we'll get the rest of it in. Get these mushrooms chopped up. There we go. Get this show on the road here. There we go. Awesome. Okay, that's done. Now, if I wanted to put more zucchini, this is only a half a zucchini. See how far you can make veggies go? And now I'm going to add a little red wine vinegar to it. I'm going to add just your blended Italian seasoning. Remember, you get pure seasoning. Look at the label. If it says salt, that's not pure ground herbs. If you have a garden and you grow your own fresh herbs, that's even better. Fresher flavors are always better. This is an olive timpanade, which is just basically ground olives. Alright? That's what it looks like. We love olives. So, I'm going to put a big blob of those in there. Again, I get these at my local grocery store. Okay, so now we're going to get this going. This is how quick and fast and easy this is. So now we're going to add a can of Italian-style tomatoes. These I get at my local grocery store, and it's petite diced tomatoes with garlic and olive oil. And that's all there is in it. It's just garlic and olive oil. And what we're making is called a ragu, if you want the technical term. And a lot of people say, well, ragu, that's the spaghetti sauce. Well, that's because they just use, that's their brand name. It's not a true ragu. The difference between a ragu and, say, a spaghetti sauce or a meat sauce for pasta is you don't have the sauce. You have a little bit of sauce, but the rest is all chunky veggies in there. And you've got the chunky veggies with the meat. It's so good. I'm gonna, sorry about this, I hate to get right in your face, but I forgot I wanted to add some fennel seed to it. Fennel, and my fennel's coming up nicely, it's looking so beautiful. I love braised fennel in a salad. Fennel is, it's got like a licorice smell to it and taste. If you've ever had Italian sausage, and that sweetness that's in the Italian sausage, and I'm just breaking them up to release the flavor. That's all I'm doing. That comes from the fennel. That's the fennel you taste. That's what makes Italian sausage, is the fennel. I love fennel. It's one of my favorite veggies. It's so pretty when it grows. The bulb is so pretty. And it's one of those things that every single last bit of it is edible. There's none of it goes to waste. None of it goes to chickens. None of it goes to compost. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Okay, so how do I know when I'm done? Well, find the biggest piece of squash or hard vegetable that you've got in there. And if you're spoon or stir stick or whatever you're using, spatula, whatever, this is a spatula, goes into it, cuts it like butter, then you're done. Okay, so now we're going to let this go a little bit. Oh, forgot salt and pepper. If you wanted to, you could add some red pepper to it, a little kosher salt, a little coarse ground black pepper. And on the coarse ground, you can buy coarse ground black pepper, or you can use a pepper mill and grind your own. That's what I do. This is my little handy one. I got a great big one. And actually, a real tip is, take your peppercorns, which are cheaper than regular pepper. The more you process a food, the more you're going to pay for it. So the more the store, if you want skinless, boneless chicken breasts, you're paying for somebody to stand there and skin and bone the chicken breasts instead of you doing it yourself. So just remember that. But take your peppercorns, and if you have a mini chopper, put them in the mini chopper and chop it up. And there's your coarse ground black pepper that you could pay double for if you bought it coarse ground. Are you with me still? Are you still with me? Oh, Manga, this is looking good today. Oh, I wish you could smell this. I smell like I'm in a little old Italian lady's kitchen. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long. We haven't been here that long. Ah! Eureka! We done! We eat! Not yet. We don't eat yet. Alright, so like I said, I've done the pasta. Now, you can do this two ways. One, you could serve this over your favorite pasta. Or two, you could mix the pasta right in and make it a one-pot meal. Okay? My husband is diabetic. He cannot eat pasta. So I'm going to do it on the side, but I'm going to show you. Because now, we're almost to the point now of serving. So, before we serve, I buy a grated 3-cheese blend. Be real careful with buying cheese. Do your research on it. Because a lot of Parmesan cheeses and stuff in the cans are ground or mixed with wood pulp. That's right, the pulp of wood. That comes out, that's in your cheese. The reason they do that, that's what keeps it from binding together, from sticking. This is our local grocery store's brand. They do not use wood pulp. Now, if you're like me, you like a lot of cheese. If you're not like me, you don't like any cheese. Whatever you like, that's what you use. Common sense cooking. Isn't that pretty? Oh, isn't that pretty? Alright, I'm using my hands because my hands are clean and it's my house. You can... Don't act like that. You know you use your hands in your house. You know you do. Alright, so this is whole wheat rotini pasta. Alright, so when it's done, you take it and just like that. There's not going to be a lot of juice. You don't want that. You want just the meat and veggies. Just like that. This over so you can see. Is that better? See that better? And then some mozzarella over the top. And maybe a little chopped parsley. How about a little chopped parsley to go with that? That's what I thought. I picked a whole bunch of herbs the other day, Monday. I had to pick a whole bunch. Cilantro is taking over. So if you're local and you want some cilantro, just shoot me a message and let me know and I'll bring you some. Put that over there for the chickens. I'll put some chopped parsley. Remember, with parsley and cilantro, it always goes in at the very end. But it adds a freshness, it adds a lightness. And notice I used red wine vinegar today instead of wine. That's two reasons. One, I'm out of wine. And two, I like vinegar in a ragu. It tastes better than the wine. The wine makes it too heavy. And I want a lighter freshness to it. All right. Look there. And tell me that ain't pretty. Anybody will eat that. And how quick was that? How quick was that? Common sense cooking. Again, let's recap. Because people tell me I go too fast. But that's the way I am. Alright. So we've got ground beef. You just brine it off and drain it. In another pot, you cook your favorite pasta. Rotini, penne, even just plain old spaghetti noodles. Whatever. Alright? Make your linguine, fettuccine, whatever you like. Just cook them the way you would normally do them with the package. No salt in the water, just water. No salt in the water, no chicken stock, just water. Alright, so you cook and drain the pasta off. Then you brown the hamburger meat, you drain it off at the same time you're doing that. Chop up your favorite veggies. I used zucchinis, mushrooms, olives. What else did I put in here? Oh, and peppers and onions. Alright, cook that up. Add a can of diced tomatoes. Let that simmer. Season it with salt, a little bit of salt. Salt, not a lot of salt because of the cheese, but just a touch of salt, black pepper, dash of red wine vinegar, and cheese. And I added fennel because I like fennel in Italian seasoning. So, anyway, you let that simmer till the veggies are tender. How do you know that it's done? Look, like butter. Like butter. That's how you know it's done. Okay? Then you can either toss the pasta into it, or you can do it like this, like I did for you on the side. Top it with mozzarella and fresh parsley. You're done. Was that easy or what? Let me know if you liked today's video. You can get the full recipe at Down Home with Lynn on Facebook at Sandholler Lynn. Let me know what you want to see me do more of, what you want to see me do less of. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. And as always, remember to like and share for more videos. And get it on the table. See you next week.